Okay, let's unpack this. The tragic news from Malibu, July 2nd, 2025. Sophia Hutchins' death. It really hit the headlines hard.
It really did. A huge shock.
Yeah. And for our deep dive today, we want to go beyond just those initial reports.
Right.
Our mission is to understand the circumstances, of course, this incredibly sad event,
Yeah.
but also to really appreciate why Sophia Hutchins's life, her work, why it felt so uniquely impactful.
Especially now. Yeah.
Particularly within the evolving landscape of queer representation and tech innovation, we're really aiming to give you a clearer picture of the remarkable person behind those headlines.
And what's interesting, I think, is how quickly the focus went to the location, right near Caitlyn Jenner's home.
That detail definitely added another layer.
It really did. It amplified the shock, given how public Sophia's profile was becoming. The details that are coming out, just devastating.
It sounds horrific.
An ATV collision with a car, apparently, leading to this huge plunge, something like 350 feet down a hillside.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. And emergency responders, they pronounced her dead right there at the scene. Just an immediate, profound loss.
It's hard to process, and it's easy to get lost in those initial shocking details, isn't it?
Definitely.
But what really struck me, digging into the sources for this, was just how much Sophia Hutchins had already done at such a young age.
29, it's incredibly young.
Exactly. She wasn't just, a name in the news. She was a real force,
Mm-hmm.
an entrepreneur, CEO of Lumasol, that UV protection startup.
Right, Lumasol. Advanced stuff, too.
Yeah. And beyond that, she was the director of the Caitlyn Jenner Foundation, doing really important work supporting the trans community.
Absolutely key work there.
And so crucial to her identity and her impact, she was a transgender woman herself. Maybe you could paint a bit more of a picture about Lumasol, her entrepreneurial side.
Sure, I think what often gets missed is the timing, and the strategy behind how Lumasol grew so fast.
Right.
Sophia launched it into a market that was already becoming more aware of environmental health, sun safety,
Yeah.
but she positioned it really cleverly.
How so?
It wasn't just about the product. She built it up as more of a wellness brand, and it had this clear philanthropic angle tied into it. She used her public profile really effectively to connect with younger consumers, more conscious consumers.
Wow.
That's a pretty sophisticated approach for someone relatively young in the business world. Shows a real grasp of tech, innovation, and modern marketing.
That really is incredible foresight. And speaking of impact, her role at the Caitlyn Jenner Foundation championing the trans community. That sounds equally significant.
Oh, absolutely. And that's a really vital point. Sophia wasn't just like a name on the letterhead.
Right.
She was really instrumental in shifting the foundation's focus. She pushed for initiatives that fostered more economic empowerment, created safe spaces, especially for trans youth.
That makes sense.
Precisely because she brought her own lived experience,
Right.
And that entrepreneurial drive, she understood the practical needs, the stuff happening on the ground. It made her advocacy really, really effective.
It's clear she had this profound impact, professionally and personally. And her relationship with Caitlyn Jenner was obviously very close, very public,
It was.
and it generated so much public.
Well, curiosity. How tough do you think that was for Sophia? Trying to navigate all that speculation while building her own distinct identity, her own brand.
Oh, it certainly added a layer of complexity, no doubt about it. I mean, while both Sophia and Caitlyn always described their bond as strictly platonic, like family.
That's what they always said.
Exactly. But the media focus on them being together so much, living together.
Yeah.
It often seemed to overshadow Sophia's own achievements.
Right. You could see that happening.
Yeah. But ironically, that same visibility also gave her a platform.
Mm-hmm.
And she was smart. She used it skillfully to advocate for Lumasol and for the trans community.
Mm-hmm.
It really shows that double-edged sword of public life, especially for figures like Sophia.
Yeah, that's a really good point. And, as tragic as this all is, the story isn't over. It's not static.
Not at all. The Los Angeles County Medical Examiner, the Sheriff's Department, they're actively investigating the incident. They're trying to figure out exactly how this happened.
Which is crucial. We need those answers.
And it's noticeable, too, that while everyone is trying to understand, Caitlyn Jenner herself hasn't made an official public statement yet.
Right. And this brings up, I think, an important question for all of us, really. How do we process news like this? So sudden, involving a public figure whose life had so many different facets.
It's complicated.
It is. There are just so many layers to a person. And a tragedy like this, it kind of forces you to look at the whole human being, not just the headlines or the immediate circumstances of their death.
So as we bring this deep dive toward a close, It's just abundantly clear Sophia Hutchins' life held immense potential, tragically cut short.
Unbelievably short.
But the impact she made, even in that time, you can't deny it. Especially, I think, as a young trans woman carving out her own space in business and advocacy.
Indeed. And often it's a single sudden event like this that prompts us, maybe forces us, to take that broader, deeper look at an individual's whole legacy,
Yeah.
their professional work, their community impact, the ways they shifted perceptions, maybe even subtly.
Uh,
It reminds us there's always more to learn, more to appreciate beyond just the surface narrative.
Absolutely. Well said. Thank you for joining us on this deep dive today.
Thank you.
We really encourage you, our listeners, to consider the diverse contributions people make, even those who might only be in the public eye for a relatively short time. Their impact can still be profound.